Welcome back to Tea House Dives, where every drama has something worth appreciating. Episode 2 of my royal nemesis is called A Guide to Optimizing Your Fate. At first glance, that sounds a little bit funny, but after watching this episode, I don't think it's really about success, money, or even survival. I think it's more about control. Every major character in this episode is trying to take control of their future. Se-gye is building a fortress around himself. Lady Kang is trying to survive in a completely unfamiliar world. Mun-do is trying to collect information and eliminate threats before they can reach him. Everyone is trying to guide their own destiny. But no matter how hard they try, fate keeps forcing them back together. And nowhere is that more obvious than in the opening dream. This episode begins with Lady Kang remembering one of the happiest moments of her life. For the first time, we see her surrounded by red peonies. This is important because the flowers have changed. If you remember back in episode 1, Lady Kang painted red plum blossoms. Plum blossoms bloom during winter. They represent endurance, resilience, and surviving harsh conditions. But peonies represent something completely different. They symbolize beauty, romance, prosperity, and royal favor. The peonies show us Lady Kang at the height of her happiness. She has status, she has comfort, and judging by the playful conversation, she may have even shared genuine affection with the king. The king compares her to a flower. She teases him in return. The atmosphere feels warm, almost intimate. And for a brief moment, we see a relationship that existed before politics, before betrayal, and before poison. And then everything changes. The bowl that once held a healing tonic becomes a reminder of her execution. The king disappears. The flowers begin to wilt. And suddenly the dream transforms into a nightmare. The symbolism here is beautiful and tragic. The peonies only thrive while the king's favor remains. The moment that protection disappears, the flowers die. Just like Lady Kang's world, the dream is forcing her to relive a painful lesson. A life built entirely upon another person's protection can disappear overnight. That is why Lady Kang can never remain a peony. To survive, she must become the winter blossom. One of the most important revelations in this episode is that Lady Kang's instincts are not magic, they are survival. Throughout the episode, we see multiple assassination attempts from her past: poisoned food, hidden arrows, a blade striking while she sleeps. Again and again, people try to kill her, and again, she survived. Eventually, her body learned to recognize danger before it arrived. That changes how we should view episode 1. She didn't save Se-gye because she possesses supernatural powers. She saved him because she spent years living in a world where hesitation meant death. The modern world sees an eccentric woman. We see a survivor. This also explains why she immediately understands that Se-gye is in danger. She recognizes the signs because she has spent her entire life surrounded by them. One of my favorite contrasts in this episode is how it compares Lady Kang and Se-gye. At first, they appear to be opposites. Lady Kang has no money, no influence, no power. She lives in a tiny boarding house room facing a brick wall. Se-gye has everything: money, power, luxury, a successful company, influence. Yet, both of them are trapped. Lady Kang is trapped by poverty. Se-gye is trapped by wealth. The difference becomes even more obvious when we compare their families. Lady Kang returns home and discovers genuine warmth. The grandmother's food isn't perfect. The seasoning is wrong. The house is small, but the affection is real. Meanwhile, Se-gye attends a luxurious family gathering where everyone smiles while quietly tearing each other apart. One household lacks money but contains love. The other contains money but lacks trust. The contrast tells us everything we need to know about both characters. If Lady Kang is a survivor of this story, then Mun-do is becoming its most dangerous player. What makes him fascinating is that he rarely attacks directly. Instead, he gathers information. He listens, he manipulates, he plants ideas. He allows other people to damage themselves. During the family dinner, he appears humble and polite, but every comment leaves a subtle wound. Every sentence gently pushes the chairman's opinion in a specific direction. He is constantly shaping the battlefield while pretending not to participate. That behavior mirrors the king we are slowly learning about. The king did not challenge Lady Kang openly. He signed documents. He allowed systems to operate around him. He eliminated threats from behind a throne. Mun-do appears to operate the same way, and that makes him terrifying. Because unlike Se-gye, who confronts people directly, Mun-do is always hiding behind another layer. A smile, a gift, a compliment, a flower pot. Even his listening device arrives disguised as a gift. One of the most interesting developments in this episode is Se-gye's dream. For the first time, it feels like his past life is beginning to surface. We see a scarred young man wearing a mask. We see someone standing near the place where Lady Kang was trapped. And we realize something important. Se-gye is not the king. The dream suggests he was someone else. Someone connected to Lady Kang. Someone carrying scars of his own. I love the parallel here. In Joseon, Lady Kang was trapped inside a wooden box. The masked man was trapped behind his mask. In the present, Lady Kang is trapped in a tiny boarding house room. Se-gye is trapped behind his corporate persona. 300 years later, the prison walls have changed, but the people inside them remain remarkably similar. The episode title becomes more meaningful the further the story progresses. Everyone is trying to optimize their fate. Lady Kang tries to secure her survival through an alliance with Se-gye. Se-gye tries to protect himself through security teams and background checks. Mun-do uses surveillance and manipulation. But every plan fails. Lady Kang tries to stay away from Se-gye. She goes viral and gets dragged directly back into his orbit. Se-gye throws her out of his building. His marketing team suddenly wants to sign her. Mun-do quietly gathers information. Yet, fate keeps introducing new variables. No matter how hard they try to control the board, something larger keeps moving the pieces. Everything in episode 2 builds towards one devastating moment. Lady Kang sees Mun-do. At first, she freezes. Then she remembers the kill list, the royal decree, the king, the poison. And suddenly, she realizes the truth. The man standing before her is the same man who sentenced her to death. For us, this is the first time the past and present truly collide. Not through dreams, not through memories, not through symbolism, but face to face. What makes this scene brilliant is that everyone interprets it differently. Lady Kang sees her executioner. Se-gye sees a frightened woman. Mun-do sees something he doesn't yet understand. Yet, us as the viewers, we see fate finally revealing its hand. Then comes the confetti, a scene that looks romantic on the surface, a dramatic embrace, colorful paper floating through the air, but beneath the comedy lies pure terror. Lady Kang is not hugging Se-gye because she has suddenly fallen in love. She is hiding behind him. So for the first time in 300 years, she has come face to face with the man who killed her. This episode is not really about adapting to modern life. It's about what happens when the past refuses to stay buried. The peonies have withered, the king has returned, the survivor has recognized her executioner. And despite everyone's efforts to control their destiny, fate keeps bringing the same souls back together, which makes one question impossible to ignore moving forward. If Lady Kang survived death once, can she survive the king a second time? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think Lady Kang will get her happy ending? Until next time, thank you for stopping by the tea house. I will see you in the next episode.